have done. We are getting support across every constituency because of the work we have done. Account to a mobile account. Still an agricultural country, and any government has to pay a lot of attention to agriculture and fishing in our economy. That is what drives the economy. 60% of our population, north, south, east, west, is engaged in agriculture and fishing. And so this is where I want to focus, to bring technology to add to our agricultural, the farmers, to bring credit and loans to add to them so that they can expand their production, to make sure they can obtain the very implements and the equipment that will allow them to do farming on a large-scale basis so that we can bring food prices down and ensure food security. So now, agriculture and fishing broadly is going to be a main priority. The second policy that I want to bring in, as far as my presidency is concerned, is to bring a new drive for Ghana to move away, because our electricity bills are high. And I want to bring new policies to bring down the cost of electricity in Ghana. The reason why our electricity bills are high is that we import oil and gas to produce electricity. And those are expensive. So I want Ghana to take the bold decision, which I am going to take by the grace of God next year, to move Ghana away from a dependency on oil and gas to solar power. Solar power, the sun, which God has given us for free. Let's use solar power to generate electricity. I want to inject 2,000 megawatts of solar power into our generation mix. And once we do that, we are able to bring down the cost of electricity by 50%, reduction of 50% if we bring solar power into the mix. So that is also a very key thing that I am going to bring. The third major thing that I am bringing into Ghana is something that exists in the developed world. It's called a credit system. In the developed world, in the advanced countries, when you want to buy something, there is credit available. There's access to credit. So if they go to buy a TV, they'll pick the TV up and pay small, small, small. By 3 years, they'll finish paying for the TV. If they want to buy a boat for fishing, they'll pick it up and pay small, small, small. If you are a tailor and you want an industrial machine, they'll pick it up and pay small, small, small. You want to buy a car, you pick it up and pay small, small, small. So that is the credit system. That is what exists in the developed countries. So if you are a teacher here or you are a nurse in Ghana, even if you are paid the same as your colleague in the advanced countries, those enjoy 10 times more goods than you because they have a credit system. In Ghana, it is cash down. Everything you want to buy is cash. Everything is cash. So you don't have enough to do much because your pay will be finished very quickly. Before even the beginning of half the month is all gone. Isn't it? Because everything you pay, you are paying cash. So I've looked at this system and I want us to transform Ghana. I want Ghana to move away from this cash system to the credit system that exists in the developed countries. We want to move to the credit system. And how are we going to move to the credit system? What exists in the advanced countries that allows them to have this credit system? There are three major pillars for a credit system that allows it to work. The first one is that everybody must have a unique identity. You must be able to identify everybody so that if somebody is giving you loan, they know who you are. You cannot go back and change your identity.
Didi kakrana ni buefu. Atise ene wako Didi osofu on them. We Didi ahim for them. We Didi imams and them. We Didi CSOs for and them. Osi omunyina omuye hypocrites. What you ready that? Saka say na omampenyi dada simikasa. Say ahim for imams osofu. CSOs, omoye hypocrites. What you ready that? Now says who did the electoral commission at him. And then so I say MPP government, a foolish government. Hey, what you ready that? Where kasa I don't feel on my opinion that we must have limited at least some standards of decency in the language we speak as politicians. Election year and yet intended is about ideas. Only ideas are then you insult people. But what ideas are you present your ideas? Yet you will bold solutions to problems.
In West Africa, and the second most peaceful country in the whole of Africa. God willing, as president, I will maintain Ghana's status as a very peaceful nation. Your Majesty, as a son of the North, I am very pained by the conflict we have in Bawku between Kusasis and Mamprosis. This conflict has led to needless loss of lives and disrupted economic activity and development in Bawku. It is really sad. Fundamentally, we are really one people. We have intermarried over the years, and our languages are very similar. I believe with every bone in my body that it is possible to have peace and harmony between Kusasis and Mamprosis in Bawku. And you have tasked me to make sure that happens. And I will work towards that. We have to work towards it. It is possible. Your Majesty, let me be clear that the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana has set out very clear guidelines for the resolution of chieftaincy disputes. This is through the House of Chiefs and ultimately the Supreme Court. Fighting and killing each other can never resolve a chieftaincy dispute. And I should also state that under the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana, no government can impose a solution or use force to settle a chieftaincy dispute. president, by the grace of God, I shall uphold and defend the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana and ensure that the state of Ghana is peaceful and secure. Your Royal Majesty, I am running to become president for Ghana, and I will be president for all. I will be president for Eres, for Ashantis, for Kusasis, for Mampusis, for Dagombas, for Frafres, Konkombas, Bonos, Fantis, and all tribes in Ghana.
You answer only 3 questions. 3. Why is the exchange rate 17 cedis to the dollar? Question 1. Exam, you should come and write. Why has Ghana's debt risen from 120 billion to 767 billion in 8 years? Question 2, you should come and answer. Question 3, why is inflation where it is? Why did it rise to 54% under your administration for 8 years? And then let me add 2 more. Question 4, why did you borrow 42 billion cedis from the Bank of Ghana? Why did you borrow 42 billion cedis from the Bank of Ghana? He should come and answer those questions. You don't need 170 questions.
Yes.
170, if he wants, he can answer them himself. But Ghanaians are asking him 4 questions. He should come and answer those 4 questions and explain to Ghanaians why we are where we are. The last question is, why has he run away from the economy to digitalization?
Yes.
About economy. Today he can't mention economy. It's not in his vocabulary.
Yes.
Anytime he opens his mouth, digitalization. Come and talk about the economy. That's question 5. 5 questions. Tell him. You should come and answer them. They took a healthy and thriving economy from the NDC administration, and in 8 years they have destroyed it. The MPP qualified to write a book on how to destroy an economy in 8 years. It should be a standard textbook for all secondary schools and universities. That is the book Baumia and Co. should be writing. That is the book Ken Ofori-Atta should be writing. That is the book Nana Akufo-Addo should be writing. How to destroy a healthy economy in 8 years. It will be a bestseller. So when they go into opposition, they should go and write that book. They can be co-authors of that book. So we have had the experience of 8 years. We all know what we've gone through. I don't need to tell you what we've gone through. And yet, this is a government that does not accept its fault. Despite all what has happened in this country, they don't accept that they have created hardship. They don't accept that they've mismanaged the economy. They still go and sit on radio and say, we are the better managers of the economy. Better managers of the economy, you took the dollar from 4 cedis to $1 to 17 cedis to $1, and you say you are better managers of the economy. You took cement from 24 cedis per bag to 110 cedis per bag, and you say you are better managers of the economy. You took a gallon of petrol from 14 cedis to 72 cedis, and you say you are better managers of the economy. And Bob Marley said, who feels it knows it. We are Ghanaians and we live in Ghana. And it is us who are going through the hardship. And we feel the hardship and we know where it is hurting us. But the good thing about democracy is it gives us an opportunity to make a change. They did a survey recently and more than 80% of Ghanaians said that our country is going in the wrong direction. And so if you're going in the wrong direction, what do? You have to change course. And so it is time for a change. We made a mistake. The elephant came into town. The elephant came into Lingbisi. It has destroyed people's property.
It has done enough distraction. The time has come for the elephant to go back into the bush. Nami a co-driver, Professor Mills A. Tukwanya, on Jean Nechi, because when he said driver, weja or minor shedding sano, or your licensed driver or name driving, or wait me a driving ye. Enti said driver na all driving or minor or the minor akwashiase na ni driver meter or no ocean dey fit driver or dey or minor akwashiase no or say afi sanfa or minor shanisa no san driving bi me dey be ma no David wa o master the bus na akwashiase na wo driver na wo shia ejuma o master no o say afi yanfa bus no ma na o so onka David. Your driver dada no driving ye. Or no any best friend will say, Ombefa Kano, non tremu, no fastiano nianko. Enti, and yes, ube soon, Mama, Tisa Quada, Mumman Mistiano, and yes, I need Gistiano. Stiano and Genesa. Also, called DVLA. Near court testing one, sir. Near who's a winning car, Neka. And son, your license. And son, the license national, sir. And son, also bet me, Abeka say, also open steer driving. Akodako school. Now watching me, no, and son, yes, a coffee. Obefia no abet refi, boso me and son. Obesako school, no, new Sia, no, nanny refi. Ye pese ye money ina ye bie school a no mu nyina akọ ye pon school a no mu nyina abefie ye mpese bi nbeba betra fie boso miensa na afe awofo no e wo se wo pesika na ukotua master normal and extra classes sa sika na wutua no ene free SHS no ye koya na se ye sambai enti ye money nyina beko school prekope ye makwan a no mu nyina ba Yem pese ye mama ebeba betra fie boso miensa wan hwe yi a na obi akwahye omo yefu na echese omo abrabo asai Akodako school na wotwe mienu miensa yese kofie obefia no abetra fie boso miensa obesa akọ school no ni osuan no na ni refi ye pese ye mani nyina ye bie school a no mu nyina akọ ye pon school a no mu nyina abefie Yem pese bin beba betra fie boso miensa na afe awofo no e wo se wo pesika na ukotua master normal and extra classes sa sika na wutua no ene free SHS no ye koya na se sambai enti ye mani nyina beko school prekope ye makwan a no mu nyina ba na me ye co-driver Professor Mills A. Tukwanya on Jean Nechi, because when he said driver, weja or minor shedding sano, or your licensed driver or name driving, or wait me a driving ye. Enti said driver na all driving or minor, or the minor akwashiase. Nani driver meter or no ocean dey fit driver or dey or minor akwashiase no. Or say afi sanfa or minor shanisa no san driving bi me dey be ma no David wa o master the bus na akwashiase na wo driver na wo shia ejuma o master no o say afi yanfa bus no ma na o so onka David your driver dada no driving ye or no any better friend no say ombefa car no non tremu no fastiano nianko enti enye se ube soon mama tisa akoda mumman mistiano enye sa na ejistiano stiano yenjene sa o se ko DVLA ne ko test one sir ne hu se unim car neka ansani your license ansani the license national sir ansana also bet me abeka say wo so open steer driving
What is the difference between the ordinary thief and a political thief? Number one, the ordinary thief steals your money, your bag, your watch, and your jewelry, isn't it? But the political thief steals your future, your career, your education, your health, and your business. Number two, the hilarious part is that the ordinary thief will choose whom to rob. But you are the one who choose the political thief to rob you. Because we choose them. We vote them. We blindly say we are not blind. Who is deceiving who? The ridiculous part of the whole issue is that we will fight to defend and protect our belongings from the ordinary thief. Is it not? But we fight each other to defend and protect the political thief. Is that not what we do? Thugs will be fighting themselves to protect those that are stealing our career, stealing our joy, stealing our health, stealing our success. What a shame.
If you reach a certain stage in life and there is nobody who can look you in the eye and tell you the truth, you are doomed. And that is where our country has gotten to. We need to rescue this country. Wallahi. And I feel very terrible as a Ghanaian at this time. This country is in serious trouble, ladies and gentlemen. We are in serious trouble. We need to rescue this country, ladies and gentlemen. The presidency has been so depraved, so muddied, so dirtied, that I tell you in all sincerity as a Ghanaian, that I feel terribly sad today as a Ghanaian. We need to rescue this country. Wallahi, inshallah.
Please don't cry.
We shall rescue our country.
Government is broke, government is broke. The people are spending billions to go inside the government that is broke. Have you ever seen a minister who resigned because government is broke before? Government has no money. Have you ever seen a governor who said, ladies and gentlemen, when I was elected, I thought the government had money. Now I discover government has no money, I resign. Have you ever seen it? Government has no money, but they are bringing money out at election time. Where is that money coming from? So they are lying. What is happening is that there are two types of wicked people in government. Type 1, they eat current money. Any money they find in government, they will eat it. They are wicked about that one. There is type 2. Type 2, they eat current money and future money. They will say, my term will end next year. When I leave, how will I eat money? Let me borrow money now and borrow money of the future and eat it now.
Right, hello, good morning and welcome to the show. This is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. It's a Tuesday, the 5th day of November 2024. By His grace, we're live and we're here with yet another edition of the show. Our gratitude to go to the Most High God for the rare privilege of being alive and, of course, the opportunity of having another conversation around the top stories making the rounds here in our dear Republic. I'll let you into our panel for the morning's conversation shortly, but let's take a look at the front pages of our newspapers. Daily Graphic. BEC grading system unchanged in spite of curriculum change. WAEC. Commit to peaceful elections. Bring energy stakeholders. Sam Jonah, others brainstorm at graphic development series today. Glyco Pension presents 3-bedroom house to best teacher. Special supplement on 8th Ghana Energy Awards. The Ghanaian Times. NHIS e-pharmacy set to combat illegal charges. Who wins U.S. election as Americans go to the polls today? Ministry of Food and Agriculture begins 5-day AgriFest 2024 in Accra. Bawku chieftaincy conflict, 6 more killed. Death toll rises to 30. Daily Guide. Nana fires election prophecies. FDA, GSA launch common certificate initiative. Our prioritized rural industry, Baumia. Burkinabe gets life for German wife and daughter's murder. Please invite applicants for medicals. NHIS combats illegal charges with the e-pharmacy. The New Crusading Guide. Akufo-Addo calls for peace towards December 7 elections. Evidence is the name of the game, Amas. Osudoku has no chief. Manyam Ponsa Doku at the 3rd sets record straight. Floating voters in Doma East reject NDC. Rally support for Baumia, Paul Chumberima. Government launches STEM project for basic level. CEO of Maslock ends top honors as capacity building hero of the year. Razak Opoku tackles Mahama, answers his 5 questions on economy. The Insight. Western region and the failed promises of the Kufuor-Bawumia NPP-led government. Emmanuel Kofi-Boa writes. Defeat looms. Kennedy Japan wants NPP over Kim Paluta music dance. Change your voting pattern and vote for Alan. KOD urges BBNE residents. GDLA champions investor rights in Ghana and abroad. Calls for global support. Activities for the burial of the late First Nungwa Safuache made public. The Daily Statesman. Let's secure our digital future. Kufuor urges stakeholders. Ghana may not be ready for another hung parliament. AG charges GBA to protect judiciary's independence. Maslock boss adjudged capacity building hero of the year. The Ghanaian publisher. Asla explains 5G shared network model. Optimistic Ghanaians will be served better. Nana promises to hand over to winner. Bawumia outlines plans to tackle youth unemployment. Professor Kumfi charges NPP to secure victory for Bawumia. ADB supports Farmers' Day with 1 million cedis. Economy Times. Cedi continues to depreciate. Second DDEP impacts financial sector marginally. Players optimistic of fast recovery. ADB MD is Public Sector CEO of the Year. Business and Financial Times. License IPPs under Free Zones Act. Apetogbo to boost regional export. Planting for Food and Jobs Phase 2 gets 3.3 billion cedis funding. Standardization. FDA GSA starts harmonization scheme to boost industry and SMEs. CWG CEO calls for regulatory reforms to unlock Africa's tech potential, says public-private partnerships vital for tech expansion. Rural banking. Eshima Kwawoma Rural Bank records 162% growth in profit, backs 24.7 million cedis profit. Offers shareholders 30% returns on investment as dividend. That's a good one. Feature. Stabilizing the city, the Bank of Ghana's strategic approach for the festive season. Another feature, BRICS and the end of dollar dominance, a new economic order or a global gamble? That's a question posed in today's edition of the Business and Financial Times. Daily Post. December 7 election. Global Info Analytics poll predicts one-touch win for Mahama with 33 days to go. Bawumia's support among floating voters has decreased. Global Info Analytics. Clocksack declares nationwide strike on November 7. Education Committee unaware of new SHS curriculum. We were not consulted, Dr. Apak. And that's about it for the front pages. We'll be back shortly.
Hey guys, so I got this app. It's called Ayoba. It's a chat app that helps me with beauty tips and cooking tips. A super app that feeds me music and the latest sports content. I even use it for my studies. And the good news is I don't need to use my data bundle because I'm on MTN. Chale, the app just did be.
Ayoba, the all-in-one app that lets you chat, call, read, play, pay, and listen. Use Ayoba at no data cost on MTN. Download Ayoba now.
Personal shot candidates! No, the policies are delivered 12 pillars. Ministers say don't buy a drum. I'm going to 12. They call about the so you go here and you see 12.
Baguru Emre. Metawase and Automase. That is the kind of leadership we want.
We are doing a 276 constituency tour. We are called Ghana, baby, here will be a policy control. When you walk in the balance room, you will see Nana Kwame Bediako, number 12. On a pet and a tree, I want it to show. On a super and I have plants here. Nyakame and so Grand Kwan, the Gusso.
Experience the enhanced protection of Star Motor Third Party Extra from Star Assurance, an enhanced motor third party insurance policy that provides cover for loss or damage to your vehicle's windscreens, side mirrors, back glass, and other glass components. Whether it's a crack or major damage, you can drive with the assurance that your vehicle is well protected. Our commitment to you includes affordable coverage options and a claims process that is both fast and straightforward, so you spend less time dealing with paperwork and more time on the road. Also, we have proudly partnered with Hope for Little Lives, an organization dedicated to supporting children in need. By choosing Star Motor Third Party Extra, you're protecting your vehicle and making a positive impact. Every policy you buy helps bring joy and support to children in underserved communities. Reach out to us now on our toll-free numbers 0800-177-177 or 0302-245-906 to sign up. Let us help you drive with peace of mind and purpose. Star Motor Third Party Extra. Drive with confidence, give back with heart.
Star Assurance, your solid partner.
The luckiest.
Star 712 hash.
Luck is everywhere.
8K. Hey, you get an 8K. Get a package when you have to come out. One lie. Hey, wait.
You go put it on his tab. This is my man. Good luck.
We'll wait here. We have star 712. I'm on dialing the magic numbers. Star 712. Now welcome to the luckiest. And I'm with me at home ticket. You can buy for yourself or your loved one.
Mommy, tell mommy who's here.
You're buying for me, right?
Or who else?
Let's
choose buy tickets for others.
Love you, boo boo.
Maybe straight to option 4.
You need to buy tickets worth 50 Ghana to qualify.
Yes, you can buy random or preferred tickets. I'm choosing random tickets.
Listen, if you buy the random ticket, the system chooses a random number for you. But if you buy the preferred, you get to input your own preferred 5 digits. 5.
Baby, give me your 5 numbers.
And how much are we buying?
Babe, look at the body and buy you.
With your body,
Hey, there we are. Tread cautiously. Now follow the prompts and confirm. Now the luckiest.
The luckiest is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform, not for persons below 18 years. TNCs apply.
No pressure. Another morning, another day filled with possibilities. My old car reflects my journey, and today could be the day I take a big step forward. Anything is possible, just think about it.
My shelves are ready to be filled, and soon the flat rate will open up exciting new opportunities. I can already envision a vibrant shop bustling with customers, all eager to discover what I have to offer.
I feel optimistic about import costs. Why? Because with DMB flat duty rates, my expenses will be more manageable. I can see my business thriving.
Every moment spent with my son brings back wonderful memories.
I tell you, my son, with my digital skills, now one can say create games in a website.
Show off, both #1 on the ballot.
Anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath.
I'm a fair missy way.
The patch of Bantama.
Matias. It's her smile.
The fresh breath.
Me, Judy said we used to Cal 360 toothpaste. Cal 360 toothpaste.
Yes, Kia. Cal 360 toothpaste.
It's a gum protector.
Onim jom kasa.
Kile hosen. Kel 360 did the way. It's cool mint. Gives me fresh breath and your confidence booster.
You will see so feeling kika when you know Kel 360 toothpaste.
Happy smile.
Kel 360 toothpaste, anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath. Kel, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
Ama, nansi mi general well-being enkoye kwao. Ama maye bohu se kontomra akija.
Nansi me hu se me nyo basi makura. Ama me kunu me into kwankwa. Oyiwa. Enye mo ko. Give us GC mixture and the capsules. Aye num boom. En ho asem na mo kana. Ebua emma ene meme nyina. Ne ma wo ba ye obesima. Na be ma so aye be masima. Ya, we be Bawku. I'm an giant sow with the shelly bottom. No, when you yan and into sessing you all you chop one. Give us GC mixture and then a capsule.
A pin for a batter, one more menu for one and Quada when if you do me a
Who are you? Who are you? Charlie, I'll be you from the future. Who doesn't sleep on that slice of bread you call mattress anymore? Don't some sleepers then follow me. You just buy the mattress we did the front there. Yeah? That'll be the mattress where the dead put on. Wait, what are you doing? Wow! No damage at all. Not only durable, but also super comfortable. Come on, try it.
Nothing day like Ash Foam. Enjoy full body support and unparalleled comfort for a restful sleep.
Don't forget your keys.
Get the premium sleep experience with mattresses from Ash Foam. Visit any of our showrooms nationwide or at ashfoam.com.
Over 5 million children have benefited from free SHS. Protect free SHS. Vote Dr. Baumia #1 on the ballot.
Welcome to Rehoboth Palms, Ayimensa, where your future home is taking shape. Discover a community like no other, designed for families and individuals seeking comfort and connection. Enjoy a host of amenities, including a swimming pool, tennis courts, kids playground, and serene sitting areas, all designed for your enjoyment. Embrace the opportunity to be part of this vibrant community with flexible installment plans available. Your dream home is waiting at Rehoboth Palms Ayimensa, where every moment is a promise of home and affordable luxury. Visit us today at 145 North Legon, Accra. Call us on +233 244 764 499 or +233 204 950 810. For our UK clients, you can reach us on +44 190 853 3149 or +44 791 737 6631 or visit www.rehobothpropertiesgh.com to learn more. A community like no other. Welcome to Rehoboth Ayimensa.
Apomode hu nsem yemfen diagro enunti na se wonom edopapa nko a Exodus moringa capsules ene Exodus dandelion capsules efi Exodus elusuanum na ebeboa wa pomode emu bia wo benya no betimi aboa nanso se wonye tu no a wo betimi anom abom na ebeboa papa se wonom Exodus moringa capsules ne Exodus dandelion capsules eboa mamoja di efusani yie na afei ebusi wo immune system no na kweti ayarewa ahodo minim yie se nipa dodo na nim dia moringa etimi ye na dandelion so ye nim enunti ne nkasa bebre enye mma apemfo ana abatan a oma enifo ana abofra onya emfidumi Exodus If one dance it does.
Papa Sammy, I beg if you find something small, give us.
Bro Sammy, you see, don't say boys no one do nothing and just they rely on handouts. Jobs to no deal.
I understand the hassle. Hope they come. John Mama they come do the National Apprenticeship Program where he go sort you guys.
Brother Sammy, waiting with that.
John Mama no say no be everybody way won't work for office. Like me.
That one day is true.
Under the National Apprenticeship Program, young men and women where they won't learn craft will be enrolled under the program and attached to a senior craftsman who will train them for free.
I beg you, mechanic day inside. Me like this, I don't want to learn mechanical, but the course no.
Mechanics day inside. Organizing, dressmaking, fabric making, catering, hairdressing, tiling, painting. What they even sweet about this whole thing, they say, when you plead, the NDC government go make sure say they go give you certificate where you go fit take go look for job anywhere. That's sweet.
Oh, that's be one waffle.
Another one waffle thing they say, when you plead, the NDC government go set you up with startup capital and equipment to make sure you can start your own business.
Wow! I dey go shopping my town wait 7 December.
Vote for change. Vote for John Mahama and the NDC.
Right, welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, this is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. And it's been an awesome journey with Momo from MTN. 15 years of ease, safety and convenience. This is definitely worth celebrating. That's why the Momo at 15 Rewards is here with amazing cash prizes just to say thank you. Send money to an MTN Momo user or make payments to an MTN Momo merchant at no cost whatsoever, only on MTN. So go on, download My Momo on the App Store or Play Store to enjoy this. Just Momo it everywhere you go. Terms and conditions apply. And if you're thinking of getting that toothpaste that will take care of the entire family and save you some money, the recommended family toothpaste is Kel 360 toothpaste. It's also approved by the Food and Drugs Authority. Kel 360 toothpaste provides you and your family with all-round dental protection throughout the day with freshness. Kel 360 toothpaste is good for kids, children and adults. Let your family be a proud family when they step out by constantly using Kel 360 toothpaste. It brightens your teeth, prevents cavity, and with its cool mint, gives you fresh breath throughout the day and protects the gum from decaying. For consistency and quality, use Kel 360 toothpaste. Kel 360 toothpaste is another product from Samara Company Limited, producers of Sasso. Is available in all supermarkets, malls, and provision shops. You can call Samara Company on 0246 864 798. Kel 360 toothpaste. Happy smile. Now with me on the show this morning, I have a member of the communications team of the MPP. He is also a private legal practitioner and a lecturer. Ishak Ibrahim is here with me on the show. Council, good morning.
Good morning to you, and good morning to your viewers.
Right. Also with me on the show this morning as the Member of Parliament for the good people of Bongo, is also a member of the Energy Committee in Parliament. And many years ago, he was working with me somewhere. Edward Abambire Bawa, the Honorable Member of Parliament for the Bongo constituency, is also here with me on the show. Eddie, good morning.
Good morning.
Okay. For those who are wondering now, I'm referring to the GFA. Okay. So he left us, went to do his masters abroad, and that was it. It didn't have anything to do with us again. He stepped into the energy and political space. So this is just a small biodata of Anyway. Ishak.
Yes.
A lot has happened in the legal space.
Yes, for the past 3 years.
Yes.
Quite interesting things. And I think if we handle it very well, we'll cement ourselves as one of the country. I don't know how. I think Ghanaians are now very passionate about law, especially constitutional law for that matter, which I think is a good thing if we are able to handle it properly. Yes, how we can come out of it. Because this is not the first time countries.
How should we,
yes.
how can we handle it properly? Because you use that
yes.
phrase 3 times.
Yes.
If we handle it properly.
Yes.
So what would you consider the proper handling of it, and how should we do that?
Okay. If we look at other countries, like when you read the constitutional law around the country, especially Congo, for example, they had a constitution that gave power to the president to fire the prime minister, and also power to the prime minister to fire the president. So, President Lumumba's time, they didn't handle it properly, and that led to their crisis, to the extent that President Lumumba was overthrown, because he fired the president and the president fired back. They have to find out who was capable of firing the other person. Was it the first person who fired or the second person? So that's an issue. So in our time, I think we just need to put the interest of the country first, regardless of political interest. And if we do that, and then we have to also go for reforms. If we do that, we can go forward.
Reforms in which areas?
For example, if you see the statute of the International Court of Justice, for example, there's something over there that is very interesting that Ghana can learn from. Generally, court doesn't give advice because they don't want to deal with hypothetical situations. They want you to come when you have an active problem. But the ICJ statutes have got a provision where the United Nations and nations can go there for advice. So we say that an organ of government, before you make a decision that is controversial, always seek advice from the court. And when you saw that the advice is given to you, you are more or less immune. Because if you go back to court, it's the court that gives you the advice. So indirectly, it's a form of immunity.
In our case, the Constitution asks government to go for that advice from the AG.
Yes, but then other organs like Parliament could have just gone to, if you use the ICJ as an example, they could have just gone to court for advice. Also, in the UK too, there's a new jurisprudence that individuals, controversial things, you could go to court for advice. Even though they also frown upon people coming to court for advice. The case of Anthony Bland is a good example, where families and medical doctors disagree as to when to pull the life support machine. The decision was very, very controversial. The doctors went to the court for advice. The court accepted that this was a proper time to give advice. The case of Miss Pretty as well, where a woman who was suffering from incurable sickness wanted help from the husband to more or less end her life at some point, and wanted to know whether if the husband were to offer that help, would the husband be prosecuted? And the court offered advice. So we could, well, I'm not saying we should bring it as it is, but I think organs of government, with this crisis we have in hand, if we introduce such a system, if the speaker had gone to court for advice, I think we wouldn't have been in this particular situation. So, but now we don't have that system in place. So I think if we really want to get it right, all political parties might put the interests of Ghana first before a political interest.
Now, Eddie, let me bring you in. You're also in Parliament, and there are a lot hinges on what is going to happen in Parliament, especially after this decision. We know that the parties are heading back to court. Yes, for the substantive on the substantive matter. But Parliament is resuming when today? Thursday. Yes. I don't know what your first of all your views about what has happened and how Parliament is readying itself in terms of this particular decision.
Yeah, thank you very much. Good morning, Randy. There was even something I was going to talk about the courts, and I was going to ask for permission to deal with that. But let me just respond to this and then just dovetail that. You see, there's a basis for which the three arms of government have been made to be independent. And if the situation is that anytime you want to make a substantive, Mr. Speaker has to make a substantive ruling on an issue, you will have to see what the legal ramifications are and therefore run to another arm of government for advice. Then you would have to a very large extent be render or maybe surrendering your independence to yet another what you call. That's why, for example, in Parliament we have what we call the legal department that will give you advice as to how things are done. Of course, but the system itself has given us the opportunity to, as it were, that if there's an issue that you think that you are not too excited with, you go to the courts for redress. And there, and I agree with him, then there is an active case that you can deal with as to whether it infringes on the rights and other things of other people. Maybe it is in line with the laws of the country. But see, Randy, there's a reason why, if you take of all the three arms of government, it is only the courts, and particularly if you take the Supreme Court, that they have security of tenure. There's a reason for it. You see, for a minister or for a president, he has to subject himself or herself to the people of Ghana every 4 years for a reassessment as to whether his mandate will be renewed or he will be replaced by somebody else. And again, it's the same for even a speaker. The speaker, the same thing. For every 4 years, you are subject to, your mandate is subject to renewal. But if you take the Chief Justice, as long as you fall within the laws of Ghana in terms of your behavior, your conduct, as long as you are sane, and it can be proven that you are sane, you have security of tenure till, I think, the age of 70 or something before you go. There's a basis for that. It is to ensure that by virtue of the fact that you are the arbiter of conflicting parties, that you are able to take decisions that in your estimation are fair. In your estimation, you would have given all the parties the opportunities to state their case, and that there will be consistency and predictability in the way you handle cases. Because the moment there is, depends on what you cherry pick and use, then it becomes a problem. And you see, for the past few days, if there's anything to go by, as a non-lawyer, I'm even very confused. Because in as much as we can agree that, I mean, we those who have a science background, we just know that A plus B all squared is equals to A squared plus B squared plus 2AB. We know that. It doesn't change, irrespective of whether you are in Augustine or you are in Damascus. It doesn't change. However, if we know that with lawyers, they can say something today and tomorrow they are changing their mouth in the same issue. That being said, there must be some level of consistency even in your line of argument. That if today I say X, then I mean that I can trust on that. And that's the basis for which you lawyers will always go back and say that, oh, precedence, there was an issue that happened. So you quote precedence, that this thing happened in this place. So on the basis of that consistency, maybe you invite the court to make some ruling. But when you have in the spate of months, the same court seems to be changing their mouths in terms of circumstances based on the individuals involved. It becomes problematic. But yes, I agree with you that this is an opportunity for us to cement our democracy. I also agree with you that sometimes we need to let the laws work. But to the specific issue of maybe in Parliament, so Thursday we'll go to Parliament. We'll see what happens in Parliament. And but you see, Randy, I have always indicated, and I say this with all the strength I have. Do you know that for almost 7 months now, MPP has never had, in terms of their membership in Parliament, up to 30 people?
3-0.
3-0.
Why?
In fact, during the heat of the problem, that we had, there were just about 15 of them.
1-5.
1-5. There were just about 15 of them. You see, so as a majority leader who still has some outstanding business to take care of in Parliament, you would have to, and let me just paraphrase what a colleague of mine said. You have to paraphrase, you need to make a decision as to whether you just want to be a majority leader or you want to be a leader of government business who will see to it that things are done and done properly. I give you the current recall, the recall that we did before this recall. You know, they had 3 or 4 items on the list. And in the course of all that, we only approved one, and that's the IDA support, the $250 million thing for the energy sector. Indeed, it was one area I was going to get up and kick against it, and I had mobilized people to vote against it because they didn't have the numbers. But the leadership told me that, look, one, they had made an assessment of the issue. They had come to an agreement with Mr. Speaker that of all the things that they were going to do, they will allow that this one goes because of some of the items that the money was supposed to go and address. So with that negotiations, even all the basis for which we came to Parliament for the record wouldn't have gone through.
Because they don't have the numbers.
They don't have the numbers. And so when you have such critical issues to deal with, it is not a question of grandstanding and trying to ensure that you think that you are this or you are that. So I will want to see how Thursday they recall, because usually we recall. And again, this was one of the most unfortunate things the Chief Justice said. And I think that, you know, the scripture says that out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh. You see, when you get up and you come with some preconceived, you know, when he said that, what kind of country are we in? That we're in the constitutional crisis and the Parliament is not even sitting. She didn't even know why we went on break. It had nothing to do with the court. It had absolutely nothing to do with the court.
It was brought to your attention.
Yes, so that's why. Sorry.
I take it.
Yes. You see, but I'm just trying to tell you. You see, you have some already preconceived ideas. So it comes out of your mouth without even just because the basis for which Mr. Speaker, asked for an adjournment, Senator, was that one. In as much as we had numbers to be able to conduct business, as per the the Abdullah, what's his name? Versus the Attorney General.
Yes.
We didn't have the quorum to take decisions.
Yes.
And there was no point in sitting in Parliament. And so on the strength of that, he was adjourning. So it had to do with numbers. And the reason why we didn't have quorum was the fact that the MPP was not in Parliament.
So on the basis of the Justice Abdullah matter,
yes,
you will need 138
so
to
you
be able to
conduct business. Okay. So and we were 137. So in as much as we could conduct normal business, we didn't have the majority to take decisions.
So a quorum of Parliament is 1/3.
So a quorum of Parliament is 1/3. So if we are, I think 90 or 93 or thereabout, you can go on with business, but you can't take decisions.
So if a decision per the Abdullah case, the decision of the Supreme Court, there must be 138.
138.
At least.
138 to be able to take.
So anytime there is a decision in Parliament,
and you are not 138, you can't take it.
Okay.
And see, Randy, let me make a point to you. People do not, sometimes people.
So 138 means all 137 MPP MPs.
Yes.
Plus the second deputy speaker.
Yes.
Okay.
So you see, but Randy, one thing people have not realized that the current former minority now majority, because until the substantive cases.
So you
for me, I'm sorry.
Okay, for the purposes of this discussion, let's say the MPP group and the.
Okay, so let me use the word MPP group because you see, I still rely on the ruling of the speaker until he says otherwise. You understand?
But we are now aware of the decision of the. You see, okay, so
no, but you see,
in fact, let me first of all.
Okay, let me not make your case. Your word difficult. Let me use MPP group.
Let me take back my suggestion to you.
Yeah.
Okay. And let me not say insist. And
your interpretation is that.
And say that on the basis of the fact that the speaker. Subjected
himself,
which is the rightful thing to do.
Yes.
To the Supreme Court.
To vacate that decision.
The Supreme Court has taken a decision.
Yeah.
And the decision is that there is an injunction
on his ruling.
On his ruling.
Yeah.
Then the status quo prior to the ruling remains.
So, and I will grant you that, but also indicate that these things, from what I have experienced in the past 1 year, all this is subject to interpretation.
No.
So No, it's not God. No, that's my opinion. Okay. So if my opinion is that, my interpretation is that I'm waiting for Mr. Speaker to say, since you went to court and came back, what did he tell you? So that you come and tell me. That's another story. Because I am on break in any case. Yeah. I am on break. Okay. I am not in Parliament. So I have not really been communicated to what Mr. Speaker had gone to do in court and whatever the decision is. So I am on break. So I'm waiting on Thursday to see what Mr. Speaker will tell me. That's the first point. But see, I was just making the point that, you see, if you look at the past few months, particularly post Justice Abdullah's case, the NDC group has been very reasonable. Okay. Or else, most of the cases wouldn't have been able to take decisions.
They will simply absent themselves.
No, yeah, look, no, okay. Not that. You don't have the MPP people in Parliament. Indeed, that's why Mr. Speaker one day had the cause to tell the majority leader then that in making your utterances, look at your back. What he wanted to tell them that you don't have the numbers. So the point I'm just trying to make is that in all these things, there are certain times that we actually do not have the 138, but we'll let things go. Because we want to see the country move.
In fact, what I realize is that on many days,
yes,
if you are even to go by the 1/3 quorum,
won't we even be sitting?
Not be able to sit.
Won't even be able to sit.
On most days, they don't even have up to
20
members
yes.
on the floor to even start any business. not to talk about taking decisions.
But maybe just to conclude there, maybe you can help me in that regard. Yeah. So Randy, I just said that I was just trying to dovetail something on that. You know that the Chief Justice has issued a directive to the courts in Zebila, Garu, Bongo, yes. Bolga, and then Bolga is Zuarungu. Mm-hmm. Yes. That they should cease sitting. Okay. And she cites security reasons as the basis for it. Yeah. Andy, in as much as I appreciate the intention, I'm from Bongo. Bongo, yes. See, in as much as I appreciate the sentiments underpinning the directives about the safety of lawyers, the safety of generally the court workers and whoever is associated with justice delivery in those areas. In as much as I agree with that. I think, and it is not only me, myself and my two other colleagues, that's Bolga East and then Bolga Central, think that the decisions or maybe the directives of the CJ is a bit far-reaching. Because why? Okay. You see, the nearest that you get for these three places is about 50 kilometers. So we are actually very far from the epicenter of the issues. Okay. Two, the judicial service is just part of the public service.
Are you really far? Because there is something happening between Bolga and Wale. Remember?
No, Bolga, you see, if that is the case, okay. Then the decision should have been that Wale should have been affected. Okay. Because if it's about proximity and you use Wale as a reference, that
magistrate court.
No. You have a magistrate court. I am talking because Bongo has a magistrate court.
Okay, when you finish.
Are you getting the point I'm making?
Yes.
So we are just saying
that. Do you know what? First of all, I don't have any basis to question the decision of the CJ.
Yes, yeah.
But you know the first thing that hit me.
Yes.
Okay. Now last week, I was dealing with this matter. Okay. Then the issue of the decision of the court in Kumasi came up.
Yeah.
And the fact that the court in Kumasi position was that why they rescinded
the warrant.
The warrant was that.
Yeah.
That warrant should have been issued by a magistrate court.
Yeah.
Okay. And so the AG had then filed an appeal. But has gone to discontinue the appeal.
Case.
And the impression that I got was that the AG then intended to do what the court said it should do.
Yeah.
Because in government statement, in announcing the 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. curfew, government had referred to the said person as an illegal chief and all that. So government's position on his status was clear. And government's position on why we had the disturbances was clear, that it was his return to the place.
That was
So by discontinuing the case or withdrawing the suit at the appeal court, the impression I got was that then the AG's department was minded to do what the court in Kumasi said should have been done. So when I saw this directive and the fact that for 20-something days, the AG had not done it. They had over 20 days before the said person entered the place. And they had not gone to the magistrate court to seek any such thing. Because we know now that the Supreme Court can receive a writ and within 2 hours and panel and this thing to sit on the matter. We know that. We know that justice can be delivered with alacrity if they are so minded. So for over 20 days, the AG had not done what the court said it should have been done. The reason for. So when I saw this one, then I said, so in this case, what can be done?
Yeah, because now those courts are all
not sitting.
They are all being rendered impotent.
Yeah, so
and
what
therefore
can be
they
done
cannot
now?
do anything.
So I began to ask myself that question, that if we have fingered or singled out a particular person as the cause, government itself refers to the person as illegal. And the court says that I am rescinding not because the other court erred, but I think that you went to the wrong forum. Which means that the court is pointing you to what it believes is the right forum for that warrant. And then you refuse to go for the warrant for 3 weeks. The person goes in there and you say that that is the cause of the trouble. Now, you have gone to withdraw the suit from the appeal court, which means that you don't think that the appeal is the right thing. Okay. But then where you are supposed to go to now,
are not also functioning.
The CJ says that because of the disturbances, they should all stop functioning. What's going to happen?
And see, just the last bit part of it.
Please take note.
Because I really want to see, my challenge with that, see, if you look at all the things we do as a country and how we operate, one of the topmost of all is our freedoms. The right to freedom is a topmost thing. Per the directive of CJ, if somebody, for example, has been arrested by the police, say in Bongo, and he has to appear before a magistrate, maybe for pre-trial in terms of bail applications and what have you, the person is denied that. So you see that the rights of individuals will definitely be infringed upon. And that is why the three of us, the three MPs from those areas, we've officially actually petitioned the CJ.
Oh, you have?
Yes, we did that yesterday. We officially petitioned the CJ. That you take a second look at that, particularly when other public service workers are working within those areas. We still have all the other people who work in the various organizations of state working in those areas. Yes, in as much as I don't think that there are some lives that are more superior than others. And the others are also working. And besides that, these three areas, that's the Bolga East, Bongo, and then Bolga Central, these are areas that are far from the epicenter. And I make the argument that just look at the circumstance of Walawale, where, quote unquote, there have been reported cases of attacks, the issue of the ID card issue and other things in those areas. These are areas who have not been affected, and their courts are operating. And my constituency, that is far from there. In fact, my constituency to Walawale is roughly, in terms of kilometers, it's roughly about 50-something to 60 kilometers. So if you have a situation like that, it's simply just unfair, and we think that the decision of the CJ is a bit overreaching. That should take a second look at it. And then
okay. Yes, Ishak.
Thank you. Ronnie, you remember when I started, I said the way out is to have the national interest of Ghana at heart. That's how we will have a way out.
Right.
I was thinking that my good friend here would probably fully agree with that and even start pursuing it now. For example, as to why Parliament is not sitting. In every jurisdiction, there's often what we call res judicata. So res judicata means that somebody must have a last say. And as I mentioned earlier, the International Court of Justice recognized, they call it general principles of law recognized by civilized nations. Somebody would always have to have a last say. It doesn't mean what they said is right or wrong. That's not how we assess it. Once they have the last say, we all move on. Now, in our situation, we have given the Supreme Court under Article 2 the last say. That once they mention it, it doesn't matter. The decision could, even the substantive matter, it could turn out that the Speaker was right all along. But in the interim, they have given us a say. And the say is that they have ordered a stay. The status quo, the decision has been frozen, and that we should return back to the status quo.
I just want to know, what are you answering to? Is it because you referred to
yes, Parliament. I mean, when you said the MPPs refused to come, there were about 15 in Parliament. Is that what you mentioned?
Yes.
And you don't know why they refused to come. So when that order was made, from my understanding, all that the Speaker needed to do was to communicate behind the scene to the various parties, the MPP, the NDC, that I have received an order from the court, and the court decision prevails over any other decision, and therefore return to Parliament and take your rightful positions. Okay. If you listen to the media, ask why the MPP members were not in Parliament. I think you're made it clear that they did not want to repeat what happened at the beginning of the Parliament.
The Speaker said that
yes.
He was not properly served.
Okay.
He went to the court. He made that case before the court.
Okay.
The CJ,
yes,
in reading the decision,
yes,
told us that
yes,
perhaps the Speaker misinterpreted the circular.
Okay.
But we have seen the circular. We've put the circular out there.
Okay.
What we were told in court,
yes,
and what the circular says are two completely are two completely different issues.
Yes.
And I'm only raising this issue because I do not think that the issue of the Speaker saying that he was not properly served on the basis of the circular.
Yes.
I have been convinced that the Speaker was wrong.
Okay.
But just to give you some information so that you continue.
Okay.
You see, but what he is trying to say
is
about the fact that there was already a ruling, that there had been a stay of the execution.
Of the execution.
And therefore, we needed to stay it whilst the substantive case was
just needed to obey the
But you see, you know the interesting part of it?
Yes.
That day that Mr. Speaker adjourned,
yes,
you know, usually they go into what they call conclave. Leadership will go into it and deal with some issues that may not necessarily have to come to the floor of the House.
Yes.
In the course of that discussion, Afenyo Markin insisted that Mr. Speaker gives his standing on the stay as to whether he was going to respect it or not.
Okay.
In the conclave. And then Mr. Speaker said, I made my decision at plenary.
Okay.
Let's go to plenary and I will make my decision there. Afenyo Markin said he was not ready to come in there until, so they were going into their offices to sit there, monitor Mr. Speaker's utterances. Then on the strength of that, they will know whether to
I hear you've clarified.
You understand?
You've clarified.
But unfortunately, we didn't even have the numbers for Mr. Speaker to do that. So Mr. Speaker adjourned.
I think you've clarified. That's why I said, so if you have the national interest, the approach taken by the Speaker was wrong. As I said, the court have the last say. All that you needed to do was to implement.
Why was it wrong?
Why was it wrong?
Why was it wrong?
Sorry?
Why was it wrong?
The decision that you have to come to Parliament, you then have the number before you make it.
No, that's not what
it means. That you have more or less say you have the last say. You have to make a decision.
No,
he doesn't have to make a decision.
In fact, you have a situation where
the
Speaker
has
conducted parliamentary sitting.
Okay.
A decision has been taken.
Yes, he made the decision, not Parliament.
No, just hold on. A decision has been taken.
Yes.
He hits it. Is it gavel you call it?
Yes.
He hits it.
Yes.
He ends the matter.
Yes.
Somebody goes to court.
Yes.
And the person says that the Speaker and Parliament were wrong.
Okay.
Because as far as he's concerned, by Parliament's own standing orders and everything, Parliament did not have the required numbers to have conducted business.
Yes.
The court agreed with the person, in this case, Justice Abdullahi.
Okay.
If you are a Speaker, would you not be also interested in conducting business in accordance?
Randy, there is difference between Parliament decision and Speaker decision. For
What do you mean by?
Yes, This one was a speaker decision. It wasn't a decision by the parliament. Parliamentary decision would be where a vote has taken place by both parliamentarians. The end result pronounced by the speaker is a parliamentary decision.
Actually,
By
I think you are misinforming.
No,
the public. You are misinforming the
no.
public.
Let me come. I mean, this thing. So it was the speaker who made it. It wasn't like a parliament that had voted on it, and the court would have the last say. And once the court gives that particular order, it takes immediate effect. If you look at Article 2 very, very carefully, so it doesn't need further decision to be made by the speaker.
You see, what I was drawing your attention to.
Yes.
What I was drawing your attention to is that.
Yeah.
If you look at the speaker's case before the Supreme Court.
The Supreme Court. Yes.
It presupposes that.
Okay.
The speaker, at the time that the injunction or whatever was given,
yes,
the speaker did not believe
that
he had been properly.
Okay, let's leave that aside.
No, do you get the point I'm making?
Yeah,
I'm saying that until this current decision by the Supreme Court, as far as that grant of injunction was concerned, the speaker believed that he had not been served in accordance with what had been agreed.
Yeah, but I see, I don't want us to drag on this.
No, I'm just
regardless of the speaker.
Chief, I'm just raising that because it would be unfair to say that the speaker was wrong if you do not factor in.
Regardless of whether he was served properly or not, he had a constructive notice at least that this is the order of the court. And that constructive notice is enough. He has to act in good faith. But to hide on technicalities, whether you have been, well, the way forward on Thursday, he has, at least he has now been properly served. He has challenged the decision has been rejected. So now that it has been rejected, we expect him on Thursday to fully implement the order of the court. Can we all accept that?
Which is
that they stay of execution, and therefore those parliamentarians who were asked to go home by virtue of the decision of the speaker.
Who asked them to go home?
You are misinforming the public. We did not say go home because of the decision of the court. We did not have a quorum to take decisions.
No. I'm talking about the original decision that the speaker excluded the 4 members of parliament.
Those 4.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm saying that the stay is now in place. Now that the court have rejected the speaker's application, we expect on Thursday that he would do as the court asked him to do. Can we that one clear? Good. And we don't have to play politics with that as well.
Right.
Good. Let's come back to the Bawku issue. I believe the decision not to pursue an appeal was in the right direction. Because if you look at
I'm not faulting it.
Sorry?
I'm not faulted it.
Okay, yeah, I know. I just want to develop a point. And also, I mean, but then you mentioned about the need to seek.
No, the appeal was filed.
Yes.
And then later withdrawn.
Yeah, because it wasn't sound. I mean, I have looked at the appeal. It wasn't sound. I mean, it did not address what the court is saying. Yes.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that is why they abandoned it.
Okay.
You see that? And to go and issue further arrest warrant, I think would have been still be inappropriate.
Why?
Look at it. I mean, if you look at the case against Nashiriga.
No, I don't want us to go into the merits of the case. All I'm saying is that a court says that I am rescinding this only on the basis of the fact that the wrong forum granted it.
Yes, but aside the wrong forum, but we can also see that if you go, you have to cite that he has actually breached a particular law. The Constitution itself forbids you. As you said, freedom is very valuable. What exactly did he do that you could go for an arrest?
No, as for that one, we are how do you call it? We are re-adjudicating the issue. That's not the point. I'm saying that government believed that it needed to issue an arrest warrant for somebody. It's done that. Now, government itself is saying that the disturbances we have is as a result of this person who has gone back to the place. The person has only gone back to the place because one, the arrest warrant on him was rescinded by a court. The Attorney General decided to appeal the decision. It later decided that it will abandon the appeal. However, in rescinding the earlier decision, what the court said was that you went to the wrong forum. So this is the right forum for you to go to.
So that was what was cited in the court. But what I'm saying is that going to the magistrate to also get an arrest warrant would have also been inappropriate.
Why?
That's why I'm trying to explain to you So, for example, we have to ask ourselves, what would be the complaint against Nigeria if we go to the magistrate court?
In fact, if you look at the...
Because he is not the one, he said he's going back home.
No, what was the reasons government
Please,
yes. What were the reasons that government gave for the first arrest, for the arrest warrant?
This thing I'm communicating it not because I'm not doing it on the basis that I'm an MPP communication. My personal belief on the matter, if you go to magistrate court, you have to give a specific complaint against the individual. If I said I'm returning home, for example, if I said I'm going home, and if I said I'm going home cannot cause any, cannot amount to committing an offense. Especially if somebody said, when you come home, I will do this. As you said, freedom is very, very valuable.
But government statement.
Yes.
That it has issued. Government's latest statement imposing the curfew.
Yes.
Government says that this man is the reason for the disturbances.
This is where I depart from the government. Because I'm not explaining it as a communicator of the NDC, of MPP. What I'm saying is that, I have listened to the case very careful. All that he said is that he's going home, and he's from that part of the country, and he's going back to his home. He's not causing...
His name, what did he say his name?
Nasherga.
Okay, I thought it was something Seidu.
Wait, don't worry about it. Some people can call him Seidu. I don't want to...
I just wanted to be... Because I was getting confused about
the title given to him is called Nasherga.
Because why I'm saying this is that the government statement said that the President of the Republic himself chaired
I heard
a security whatever. Which, no, hold on. Which means that Interior, National Security, Attorney General, all of them put together. And the government's conclusion on the matter is that there is an illegal chief. And that illegal chief has returned. Because the thing was rescinded. And that is the basis of the problem. That is what my government is telling me.
Randy, can I progress on this? Please, allow me to progress. After some point, you can intervene. But what I'm saying is that our laws are very clear. It is not the recognition of government that makes you a chief. Our history have told us. That's why the Constitution is very clear. It said the chieftaincy institution is guaranteed. The Constitution did not create chieftaincy institution. Likewise, the Chieftaincy Act, it doesn't take government recognition for you to become a chief. Do you understand that? So as the government doesn't recognize you, that makes you illegal chief. The government may have to go back to court for that. Government recognition doesn't make you a chief. It's very, very clear. So don't worry about what the government said. But whether the government will be able to invoke that in court is a different matter. But to address this issue directly, and I'll come to ask why the court has been perhaps closed. From my informal understanding, this is not government official. I heard about some trade being made to certain places. So perhaps they are acting under the hint that those places are threatened. That is why.
But the question I'm making is that...
So, but let me come. With the Bawku issue, I believe there is no political solutions to it. Politics will not be able to handle it. There is no legal decision that can change what is happening. I believe the Kusase youth and the Mamprisi youth probably will need to negotiate directly with each other. Because look, since it predates 1957 when we had independence. And yet the problem still lingers. It means the approach we use in resolving that particular dispute had always been the wrong approach. Going to court and using governmental power to enforce decisions. That probably lacks legitimacy. For me, when a problem of this nature lingers...
I thought a few minutes ago, you told us that the Constitution has given us who has the last say. Whether you agree or disagree, the Constitution says they have the last say. So if the court, from what you have said, the court says it is A, going by your own advice you give us, what it means is that whether you agree or disagree, you must go with A.
No, in our traditional system, I still accept that the court must have the last say. But in our traditional system, if you do not allow legitimacy to prevail, you probably have to still visit it from generation to generations.
Oh, but it will be the same anyway.
No, it won't
because
be the same.
The court can make a mistake whether it's a political matter, whether it is a traditional matter, whether it is a marital matter, whether it's a religious matter. But your advice to us this morning is that the Constitution says the court must have the last say.
The last say, yes.
So if the court has the last say, whether you agree or disagree, abide by it. Is that not the advice you give us?
Look at Article 2.
It says what?
Article 2 is talking about problems within the Constitution. I wasn't talking about chieftaincy matter. As I say, if you go to, I'm not sure whether Article 270 or 277, the Constitution only guarantees the institution of chieftaincy.
But we have a Chieftaincy Act, and we are clear that when there's litigation about chieftaincy, where to resolve it. It's clear. You are a lawyer.
So this is why this matter.
And it is clear.
The point I'm trying to make is that if you dispute whether he's a chief or not, then you have to go through the court system. But my point was that this particular thing, this particular issue, the Bawku issue, is not suitable for the courts. We could use a court system to resolve it, as we have always done. But it has not been working. And my point is that
it's not been working because those who disagree with the decision of the court are bent on making sure that at every given opportunity, they will express their disagreement.
Yes, but because of the way things are resolved. If you, for example, there was a day ago, I was listening to one of your, what they call it, your guests, through phone. I think he joined it through phone, Clutches Avocat. If you listen to the basis that he uses in government intervention, you disagree. For example, he may mention that the Mampusa had always been traders, and that the original migration to Bawku was because the Nigerians sent them to police trade routes, and that's how they remain. If you resolve an issue on that basis, you'll be wrong because it's built on lives. I mean, look at. I mean, you are from that part of the world. You see,
but you see, can I make a point? Can I make a point to you?
Don't refer to.
For me.
Don't refer to what he said.
I was proposing traditional leaders. For example, the government have referred to Ashanti and other eminent chiefs. I believe they are likely to resolve it better than government.
I think that.
Yes.
My suspicion is the first time I've met you.
Okay.
My suspicion is that you hail from that area.
Yes.
Okay.
And I know
are you a Mampusi?
Yes, I am a Mampusi.
So
but legitimacy, if you don't have legitimacy,
Ishak, the point I'm just trying to make is
this.
And I will state it here clearly.
Okay.
I can't pretend to know the issues.
Okay.
I don't know the issues.
Yes.
It's just that by coincidence, where I come from is
near there.
So I don't know. So I can't make a categorical statement on that.
Yes.
But I think that there is a principal responsibility on the part of government and state to keep everybody safe.
Oh yes, of course.
And that actions of government, if at the end of the day, lead to the unnecessary loss of lives,
I agree with you.
Simply unacceptable.
I agree with you.
As at yesterday or so, isn't they had 6 other people had been killed or so. So
you
are looking at numbers.
As we speak, the death toll is now 30.
So you have 30 people.
There's a video I saw over the weekend.
Yeah.
A vehicle carrying school children.
Yes.
I have restrained myself from showing that video.
Okay.
But videos, a vehicle carrying school children.
Yes.
The vehicle was stopped. The children were made to alight from the vehicle.
Where was this?
A commercial vehicle. When I check the video, I'll find the name and everything, but it's in that area.
Yes.
And the kids were made to alight from the vehicle, and the vehicle with the driver was set ablaze.
Wow.
So the driver was
yes.
The driver was bent in the vehicle in the presence of the kids.
Of the kids.
They were only made to alight.
Yes.
But they were there to witness.
What happened.
Yes.
They will have trauma for the rest of their life.
The burning of the vehicle with the driver. You can see the charred body of the driver and the kids wailing.
Okay.
These videos were sent to me by the weekend. But because of how sensitive it is, I have been battling as to whether I should show it or not.
I see, Randy. That is where I think the government is failing.
Yes.
That's where I think the government is failing. Government is failing in trying to secure the place. Government is failing in talking with double mouth. Government is failing in not following through what they say in private. And so sometimes we have such situations. I am so sad about it because I remember very clearly the twilight of my father's career. He was in Bawku. And in Bawku was a very vibrant town because of the fact that it's a border town. You had situations where things were going on very well. Businesses were done. I mean, it was one of the places, commercial centers that you could deal with. 2, in terms of medical health delivery, the Bawku Hospital, the Bawku Presbyterian Hospital, is one of the places that give quality health delivery. Indeed, until recently, that surgeries in terms of orthopedic surgeries were done in Bolga. Every orthopedic surgery in the Upper East was done in Bawku. So because of this conflict, people are unable to even go there to access this health delivery. You have school children. Look, you have secondary school. If you take Bawku and its environs, the number of secondary schools that are there, headmasters are refusing to go and head schools because of the fear of their lives. This is what I'm worried about. And it is for the state to have a responsibility in ensuring that this place is safe. The details of who is right and who is wrong, I cannot have an opinion on that. But I think that government has failed woefully in this particular regard. And it is sad that today, look, I had a direct classmate who just, and he was a lecturer. He was a lecturer at Bolgatanga University.
Yes.
He came home, went to, sort out his stuff in the house. So he came out to burn his rubbish and everything. The next moment, he was shot down. He was shot down and killed. And that's my own mate. And so this conflict affects almost everybody by virtue of
I've not actually clarified my point properly. And then you took over.
Yeah, so I think that...
Yes, I totally agree with him. The security situation in Bawku need to be improved. But what I don't agree is the politics they are playing with it. That is actually causing much more harm. You see, when this particular issue emerged, I've seen people blaming the vice president. Where is he to be blamed? I've seen issues. You are blaming government, I understand that. But I've seen some of the people directly blaming the vice president for causing the problem that we have in Bawku today. I mean, how can you attribute blame to him on this particular situation? No. In fact,
he's not part of government.
Let me explain to you. No, but people directly lay blame on him. And so the government, if you can criticize government in general. For the security situation, I agree with you, Bawku need to be improved in Bawku. But what I'm trying to say is that you cannot attribute direct blame to him by virtue that he's also from that part of the country. But the point I'm trying to make is, if we don't deal with the substantive issue, these particular attacks and co are going to continue. But the way forward, as I was recommending, is not a governmental intervention in the form of who needs to be a chief or not. The eminent chief that the government directed to, I believe, is a way forward. As I said, the court itself cannot make decisions in traditional matters that will hold. Because the people involved, the parties involved, will need to, some kind of legitimacy will need to be placed. And it is direct negotiation that will do it. I believe here there are two rights I believe here are engaged. The right of the Kusasi people for self-determination, and that is what they often made clear. And the right of the Mamprose people for self-preservation. So these rights clash, and I believe direct negotiations with the involvement of the eminent chiefs such as Ashanti and other chiefs will be able to resolve it. But if you want to use governmental power and just take one side, I think we'll leave this problem to our great-grandchildren to be able to resolve.
At Wale Wale,
yes.
Have they come to your attention?
Oh, yeah, I've seen that. I've always said it's wrong. Look, killing innocent citizens, regardless of whatever they are, it's wrong.
So let me ask you this.
Yes.
You don't think that is a reason why people would mention the name of the vice president, especially when he is the vice president?
Yes.
Not just the vice president,
but
he chairs the police council.
Yes.
It's a security situation.
Yes.
It is his constituency, his home constituency.
Yes.
That's his backyard.
Yeah.
He has not been heard.
Okay.
Speaking about the issue.
Okay.
Don't you think that is a fair shot for people?
I think it's a wise thing to do for him not talking about it.
No, I'm saying
that will further.
No, you don't get what I'm saying. Okay. I'm saying that you don't think that is a fair shot for people to then call him out and say that look, these are atrocities that are happening at your backyard.
Yes.
You are the vice president of the republic. This is your constituency. You are chairman of the police council.
Yes.
There's insecurity.
Yes.
People are being murdered.
Okay.
Crime is being committed.
Yes.
And you're quiet.
Okay. But is it only Wale Wale these things are happening?
No.
The worst, in fact, Wale Wale, you can even say one-off situation. because the most recent one. But this attack that you've been talking between Bolga and Bawku, it's almost a daily occurrence. Between Bolga and Bawku, it's almost a daily occurrence. And who is it targeting? I don't want to even go to that aspect, but what I'm tell you is a solution. The solution is we shouldn't use temporary measures, such as government going to take one side or do this. I believe going forward, we need the two parties to sit down and do direct negotiations. And as I've said, there are two rights engaged here. The Kusasi's right to self-determination and the Mampu's right for self-preservation. Because here is the case somebody said, I should be given the right to rule a particular group who believe that they have been chiefs over there.
Is there a particular area or a particular group? When we talk
a
about
particular area, but then they have always identified the area with them more than 500 years. But so if somebody had been a chief more than 500 years, and you are just going to change it from 1957 to ask a different group who identify themselves as civilized people to come and then impose their rule on them, we're going to have a problem. But if both parties sit down to negotiate, that will be the way forward.
Okay, so that's your opinion.
That's
your
my
opinion. Which you believe is more superior than the court's view?
I think so, because 1957, we've not been able to resolve it. Continue that path.
Well, I don't think that we've not been able to resolve it. There are many people who till today, like you advised earlier, there are many people who till today are not happy with decisions of the court, but they are living with it because that's the decision. And you admonished us that there must be.
But the court has not made.
There must be the person who has the final say. So
but what I'm saying is that in this case, the court has not made.
So go to court, and then go and press upon the court why you think that this is how the court should look at it. Why is that not an option?
Who needs to go to court here?
I'm saying that whoever is aggrieved or whoever is peeved today.
Oh, peeved. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
The courts are available. In fact, in 2000 and 2003 or 2004, there was a case that was filed at the Supreme Court and withdrawn.
Okay.
I'm sure you're aware.
Yes, I'm aware of
it.
Because they said the statute had been spent.
Yes, so I'm saying that there was an attempt and it was withdrawn.
Okay.
And the Supreme Court commented even on the withdrawal. I'm sure you're aware of it.
I am aware of it. Yes.
Anyway, we need to take a break, but well, it's not all doom and gloom. There's a son originally from that part of the country. However, he's become a son for everybody. And when I go to Tamale, I have a ritual. I need to go past his roundabout every time I go there. I'm sure that you're wondering who I'm talking about. He's 60 years old today. Abedi Ayu Pele, the maestro. The former African Footballer of the Year. Yes, he's 60 years old today. So the maestro Abedi Pele is 60. You know, I used to cry when he got injured during his playing days. Yeah, I used to cry. That's how I love the maestro. And in 2006 at the World Cup, I did something. I think it was a presser or something, but a John Pencil issue. And he came to the team base, the Black Stars team base, and he took off his wristwatch. He took it off and gave it to me as a gift.
Oh, okay.
Yes, in 2006. Yes. So Abedi Ayu Pele at 60. Happy 60th birthday to you, the maestro.
Senegal 92?
Yes.
Senegal 92?
Yes.
I remember.
Yes.
But those days, who were designers at all in terms of our jerseys?
This was Adidas.
Yeah,
this was Adidas.
But those days they were fashionable.
But if you check all the countries, you realize that it was about the same
thing.
Yes. And probably that was fashion then.
So the maestro, happy 60th. We love you. We'll be back shortly.
Another morning, another day filled with possibilities. My old car reflects my journey, and today could be the day I take a big step forward. Anything is possible. Just think about it.
My shelves are ready to be filled, and soon the flat rate will open up exciting new opportunities. I can already envision a vibrant shop bustling with customers, all eager to discover what I have to offer.
I feel optimistic about import costs. Why? Because with DMB flat duty rates, my expenses will be more manageable. I can see my business thriving.
Every moment spent with my son brings back wonderful memories.
I tell you, my son, with my digital skills, now one can say what create games in a website.
A show of boot number 1 on the ballot.
Look around. Home also need a makeover. Mine clearly does. So we went to Ashford and found the Como collection. It had everything we're looking for and more. Merchant furniture for the entire home, designed with you in mind.
Where's Como collection? Dressing up is just a breeze. Always ready with a perfect accessory.
A magic dressing mirror. One look and you're ready to face the world. Or at least the kids.
A bed perfect for young men who want
a table that turns into a treasure chest.
And finally, a sofa with this grand TV unit for family time at home.
Head over to any Ashford store now and discover the new Como collection. Ashford, feel it, know it.
Welcome. Please look into the camera for verification. Thank you, John. You are now verified. Please select your preferred candidate. New candidate. Profile being verified. Please choose another. New candidate. Profile not ready. Please choose another. To see development options for this candidate, press yes or cancel. Will cancel free SHS. Will cancel LEAP. Will cancel health insurance. Will bring back Doomsaw. Should I continue? Press yes or cancel. Please choose another. Development options. Will improve free SHS. Free healthcare. Flat rate scheme for importers. Jobs for the youth. Affordable public transport with electric buses. Generally, a great choice. The only choice really. Thank you for voting number 1.
A show of boot number 1 on the ballot.
Experience the enhanced protection of Star Motor Third Party Extra from Star Assurance, an enhanced motor third party insurance policy that provides cover for loss or damage to your vehicle's windscreens, side mirrors, back glass, and other glass components. Whether it's a crack or major damage, you can drive with the assurance that your vehicle is well protected. Our commitment to you includes affordable coverage options and a claims process that is both fast and straightforward, so you spend less time dealing with paperwork and more time on the road. Also, we have proudly partnered with Hope for Little Lives, an organization dedicated to supporting children in need. By choosing Star Motor Third Party Extra, you're protecting your vehicle and making a positive impact. Every policy you buy helps bring joy and support to children in underserved communities. Reach out to us now on our toll-free numbers 0800-177-177 or 0302-245-906 to sign up. Let us help you drive with peace of mind and purpose. Star Motor Third Party Extra. Drive with confidence, give back with heart.
Star Assurance, your solid partner.
John, mema wakwaba.
Yeah, sir.
Alaji, mema wakwaba.
Yeah.
John, I had a bro, one on.
I will am a Ghana and Tina Menamo, and some Breca Cran Mijano. Don't want to know my Masaba.
Alaji, I had a bro.
Yo, me that's it.
Moamonim, Tamana Amawa, which you Mumiana Nameboa and a Kakara. As I say, dear, my crowd say, the person may be warino. Namiko Siesio, Nami sign Jan and Asubium, no your crabeshe.
Yo, I was not for yes, Empire. Yo, I'm a Ghana. What's wrong?
Mean to me, ain't son. Your bread baby, I would have fair way. I'm money who be meant to me beyond forward ever, backwards never.
John, wo okwanya wo de me very fast. Ahokyere ekom dum so hwa me nana no mi ya free SHS ya ba ya kom anya school anko e da hwe ya o ma yefe
ase wo ma se sambe hye obo sa ahomache 2 o'clock kokra meko band na makwa ko yiska e de abra magana na maboni dwetire ama na starting kokon ketenkete
Akunta, you are still incompetent. 2% side mami abrabo eto chacha to say aviator there be emaso.
Alhaji has also promised us jobs through digitalization. Ejimambe busu say
Alhaji there metenso a na masore emiri bia mekani abesa no otimi to kanea light e woni phone so e ma me ba bia wonam bia yo amagana enya me me ware ama ho Alhaji ni John so ni wa chusu
no ababa say eye Alhaji number 1
Alhaji number 1
Esuro.
In a fast-growing urban environment like Accra, safety is as important as the air that we breathe. Hear the real stories from those who now feel safe like never before with Response One.
Hello Ghana, I'm Tommy Ananforson. Our homes are our sanctuary. But safety is not all about locks, fences, and cameras. This is where Response One comes in. Their advanced monitored alarm system just doesn't record crime, it prevents it. In moments of danger, Response One's 24/7 monitoring ensures immediate help. With their theft protection guarantee, this is true peace of mind. I trust Response One to keep my family safe. You should too. Visit responseoneghana.com or call 0302 Secure 1.
Response One. Stay connected. Stay protected.
The luckiest.
Star 712#.
Luck is everywhere.
8K. Hey, you get an 8K. Get a packing from your book, man. Hey, wait. You go put it on his tab. This is my man. Good luck.
Hey, yo, we'll wait here. We are star 712. I'm on dialing the magic numbers. Star 712. Now welcome to the luckiest. And now with me at home ticket. You can buy for yourself or your loved one.
Mommy, tell mommy who's here.
You're buying for me, right?
Or who else?
Oh.
Let's choose buy tickets for others.
Love you, boo boo.
So, maybe straight to option 4.
Now, you need to buy tickets worth 50 Ghana to qualify.
Yes, you can buy random or preferred tickets. I'm choosing random tickets.
Listen, if you buy the random ticket, the system chooses a random number for you. But if you buy the preferred, you get to input your own preferred 5 digits. 5.
Baby, give me your 5 numbers.
And how much are we buying?
Babe, look at the body and buy you.
With your body,
Hey,
Dema, tread cautiously. Now follow the prompts and confirm. Now the luckiest.
The
luckiest is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform, not for persons below 18 years. TNCs apply.
My life wasn't always like this. I worked in a bank. I had money in bonds to cushion me for the future. Then, with a stroke of a pen, my life was destroyed. My bank was part of the 420 financial institutions which the MPP government recklessly collapsed. What was to become the life of the workers? No one in this insensitive government cared. And suddenly, I was jobless. Their incessant borrowing also led to a debt restructuring program that affected me, and just like that, a significant portion of my lifetime investment vanished. Even worse, my lifetime savings from 30 years of hard work has been rendered useless due to the continuous depreciation of the cedi and extremely high cost of living in the country. Now, look at me. The fruits of my toil and sweat have all gone down the drain because of bad leadership. What to eat with my children is even a struggle. God, help me and the many who share in my pain. Let the wickedness of the wicked come to an end. Change must come.
Vote for change. Vote for John Mahama and the NDC.
Right, welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, this is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. Still with me on the show, I have Ishak Ibrahim and Edward Abambere Bawa. Okay, so as a proud official global betting partner of Arsenal, Betway is bringing you way more with a new fan exclusive page. Place any bet on Arsenal and you stand a chance to win exciting monthly prizes from a range of Arsenal jerseys to memorabilia and more. Not only that, you also stand a chance to win a once-in-a-lifetime play on the pitch experience at the Emirates Stadium. Competition ends on the 31st of January 2025. This is exclusive to Betway. It's regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Terms and conditions apply. Bet the responsible way. Betway, get way more. All right. Okay. So, you know, I referred to the videos I got over the weekend. You were asking me where it happened. So, Ejakwabna of UTV sent me this. It says they were students of Congo SHS at Nabdam.
Nabdam, so yes. That's Congo.
Yes.
So it means that, because that is the last town you get before you get to Zebila, which is Akosase land.
Okay. So it says that when they got to the main gate of Bawku SHS, these wicked bandits stopped them and asked the students to get down before burning the vehicle and the driver. The car is a commercial, the vehicle is a commercial vehicle.
Okay.
So these are the details of that thing. Like I said, I don't want to show the videos here, but we're just dealing with the legal situation and all that. But Eddie, there've also been a lot as far as the energy space is concerned, and the issues of debt. We know that's ugly situation. Gridco has been telling us. People say they are also people are experiencing outages and all that. We don't have any clarity as far as these issues are concerned. You are a member of the Energy Committee. You operate in that space. What's happening?
Well, thank you very much, Randy. I think one word will be debt. That will be the reason why we are in what we are today is debt. And yes, there's load that is being shared. On the average, Gridco is shedding about 500 megawatts. Indeed, there are days that if you add the exports, you know that we have some obligation towards some of our neighbors, Cote d'Ivoire, Benin, Togo, and thereabout. And if you look at all those, if you put them together, sometimes you see a shedding as much as 830 megawatts of power. And the reason is because in as much as you have the generating plant seated there, there's no fuel to run it. Or some of the generating plants have also decided to go off because they are owed huge amounts of money that they think that they will have to exert at least part of the debt owed them. And I'll explain further. You know that now predominantly Ghana is, in terms of our power generation, we get them from 3 sources: hydro, then thermal, and thermal predominantly it is powered by gas, and then of course renewable energy, which is in a very minimal price, about 2.something% of the total energy mix. Now, in the thermal space, our fuel is predominantly gotten from the OCTP partners, that's ENI, and then the Jubilee fuels that is processed through the Ghana Gas company and given to us. Assuming that every field is delivering and every processing plant is also processing the gas and delivering, even from the word go, we have a deficit of about 50 million scarf a day in terms of gas. And usually that is augmented with the purchase of light crude oil to power some of our generating plants, because they can run on either light crude oil or maybe gas. Unfortunately, over a period now, let's start with the OCTP partners. They have been having challenges with government. They are owed an amount of about over $200 million. So based on today's exchange, that will be billions and billions of cedis. They went to government, telling government that, look, you owe us an amount of money that, Charlie, if you do not pay, we'll have challenges with it. Government seems not to have been bothered about that. So as a first step, usually when you are negotiating with somebody, you tend to cascade your actions, assuming that the person does not do something. So as a first step, what ENI did was that they decided to cut down, and our contractual volumes are roughly around 245 million scarf a day from ENI. So what they did was that they first decided to reduce their supply of gas from 245 to 210 million scarf as a first step, hoping that with that step, government would have been interested in doing what? In coming in to negotiate and say, look, yes, we know we owe you 200 million, but we will pay X amount of money and give some particular schedule as to how those payments should be done. After the first step, government was never moved by it. So they then moved to the next step and then reduced it to what is usually known as the GMPC daily contract volumes. So the daily contract volumes between the OCTP partners and GMPC is 171 million scarf. So they reduced, so it means that they moved from 245 to 210 and then to 171 million scarf. This is a level that obviously will affect the generating plant, because there will not be enough gas to be able to do that. 2, you then also have a situation where even Ghana Gas itself, because it has also had its own challenges. So for the past week, they've been delivering already in the neighborhood of about 90 million scarf of gas. And so that is yet another problem. So we're expecting that government would have augmented this. Usually when there's a shortfall of gas, because some of our plants can run on light crude oil and they can run on gas, and even some can even run on diesel. So because of that, anytime there's a shortfall, you purchase these liquid fuels to come and generate power. But because government does not even have money to even pay the gas diesels, they do not even have money to buy the light crude oil. So I give you an example. You take Abuazi. Abuazi currently, we have 2 serious plants that are there that can run on light crude oil. One. Even though the TAPCO used to run on it, but it doesn't run again. But so it's the TICO that runs on light crude oil. At Abuazi currently, as we speak, they have roughly about 104,000 barrels of crude seated there. But Randy, the unfortunate part of that story there is that based on the TICO engineers, they think that, look, usually when you have the crude oil, when even the crude oil is brought, it is treated before it is used even running the plant. Now, anytime the levels of the crude, even in our cars, when we use diesel, people say that don't let your diesel run so low, or else it then gives way for impurities to follow the fuel into the whole system. So usually with generating plants, anytime the levels of liquid fuels go so low, the managers of those plants always are hesitant in using those fuels because impurities would follow into the, what do you call it, into the plants. And when they fall in there, they have problems. You can't also, on those bases, rely on your insurance because your insurance cover would have taken cognizance of the fact that these actions were done by you yourself, and therefore you may not be able to remedy your challenge with some insurance cover on it. So even though we have about 104,000 barrels of crude oil seated in Tico, they are not going to use that. You come to the Tema Enclave. If you take the Tema Enclave, we just have roughly about 27,000 barrels of crude. That can take us roughly about 2.5 days. That is seated there. Asogli, which is even a plant that is even not working because of the fact that they had withdrawn their services. I believe that, Randy, you recall that they issued a statement that indicated that the government was owing them $259 million, and therefore they needed some payments to be done. And that if government did not do any payments, they were going to withdraw their services. They ended up withdrawing those services. So if you look at all this, and Asogli is beyond just VRE, Asogli is a major and a primary producer of power for us in the IPP enclave. And so to have Asogli coming out becomes a problem. And now you have the Minister of Finance saying that they had given directive to the Controller and Accountant General to release $30 million to Asogli as part payment of the total indebtedness of $259 million. Just a few days ago, I heard a spokesperson for the Chamber of Independent Power Producers, who is also a worker at Asogli, indicating that they have not received a dime from government, even though there had been that particular publication that had been made. So, if you look at this, and I want to look at the fact that if you take, these are just those that are active problems. There are problems that are potent that can come. For example, you have that even Ghana Gas, that gives us the gas. Ghana Gas does not have a dedicated pipeline that brings the gas from the Western Enclave to the Eastern Enclave. And so they rely on the West African gas pipeline to do what we call the reverse flow. Now the challenge with that is that government owes them also over $20 million. You recall that it was the same amount of level of debt that they reduced, and they asked government to pay about $8.something million. The letter that went to GMPC and finally ended up ECG, that they should pay $8.something. And when they didn't pay, what they did was that they stopped transporting or maybe transmitting the gas from the Western Enclave to that. So it means that if they also decide to trigger, it even makes it even worse, because then we will not even have gas that is stranded in the Western Enclave, because we may not be able to transport that gas to the thermal plants that are in this. That's one. Two, if other independent power producers begin to also say that, look, Asogli has gone out, and Asogli has gone out because of the fact that they have not been paid. We have equally not been paid. And so we are also deciding to do what? To shut it down. If that happens, then we have a problem, because, Randy, as at July, we had the opportunity of meeting, in the course of this our manifesto wahala we're doing, we had the opportunity to meet the independent power producers. As at July, it was a moving scale of between $1.3 to $1.5 billion in terms of total indebtedness to them. They have been in a very long, excruciating negotiations with government. You know, this issue of debt restructuring.
Yes.
To restructure even their debt. As we speak now, there's no agreement on it. And so I agree with Franklin Kujo. I read on his post when he said that if you look at what the finance minister is doing, he's tiptoeing around the problems of the energy sector in terms of the debt, just waiting for December 7th. The reason is that it's a pig mine that is waiting to explode. And I always like the question you ask anybody, because anytime I'm watching your program, I like the question you ask everybody when they can say that we've kept the lights on. And you say, at what cost?
Yes.
At what cost?
Yes.
So if you have a situation where you have such indebtedness, and look, I have...
Do you know why I asked the question?
Yeah.
Okay. I asked the question because proud to DDEP.
Yeah.
Anytime the issue of our debt came up and people issued warning, we were told that, we are paying nursing training, we are paying teacher training allowance, free SHS, this, that. And we kept asking the question, at what cost, at what cost, at what cost? Then, bam.
Okay.
we declared insolvency. Then whatever happened to us. And we've been pickpocketed about $12 billion out of that. So anytime people raise the issue of the lights are still on, it reminds me of when people started raising the issue of the debt. I dread the day where, just like we woke up one day in November and we're told that we are declared insolvency, we are going to the IMF, we will not have that kind of situation with the energy sector. Is the reason why I keep asking the question.
But see, Randy, you see, Randy, so Randy, I just want to make this point. Whether it is Bawumia who wins these elections, whether it is Shada, Alan Chermantin, or John Mahama, whoever wins this election is moving straight into an energy crisis. Moving straight into an energy crisis. See, government has to balance up because there's a challenge of even accounting for the money that, the small money that we could have used in solving some of these problems. How on earth, just ask yourself a very fundamental question. How on earth, that even before you introduce a digital, before you increase, before you introduce a digital platform to improve on your collection rate, you were doing the upwards of 90%. Indeed, it is the basis for which the PURC gave you a benchmark of 98%. So it meant that for 2% of your losses, they will factor it into the tariff. So that you and I will be paying for those losses. So they knew that you could at least do 98. But in the 98, they hope that in your next major tariff review, you would have invested enough to be able to take care of the other losses. Then you will spend an initial, that upfront cost of about $171 million to create a platform that, in your own opinion, was supposed to guarantee collections and to ensure that you have enough money to pay the players upfront. Since the introduction of that particular platform, your average collection since 2023 up to today, your average collection is 43%. And you think that people shouldn't go to jail for this? And this is the situation. So if your average collection rate is now around 43%, Randy, and they pick up this money, even the expectation is that even with this,
so it means that on the average, you're making revenue losses of some 57%.
57%. That's what you are making. Very unacceptable. And then this money, when you even take this money, you don't put it in the cash waterfall mechanism so that they apportion these revenues among the various players in the value chain. You take it and you use it for procurement. And so, and again, you will be very, I know you are allergic to the name of Bawumia, but the unfortunate part, you are allergic. No, anytime somebody mentions Bawumia, you are allergic to it.
No, I'm not allergic.
No,
I just don't want people to unfairly blame him. That's all.
Unfortunately,
I'm not allergic.
You see this hotel agreement was he was around it. You had an in-house app that was being used, and they could guarantee a collection of about 90%. Then you get up and say, no, we're bringing in a new one that will help us. But even with that, you know that the hotel then picks the money. They take up their commissions before they even hand over the money to what they call ECG. So, yes, the problem with our challenge now is debt. And the IMF has said that, look, the greatest threat to our economy is the energy sector debt. And the energy sector debt, as we speak now, my brother, is huge. If power subsector alone, we are doing roughly about $2 billion. Think about the other sectors like GMPC, BOST, and all other areas. Look at the total debt that we have. So that is my...
Fine. Yes, Isha.
Thank you very much. Okay, well, to begin with, I just need to clarify something.
Please do.
He said, I'm allergic to the name Bawumia, and therefore he has to be careful when he's mentioning it. It's actually not true. I actually love the name Bawumia, and that's the very reason why I'm supporting for the presidency. My allergy starts when you unfairly blame him. If you unfairly blame him, yes, my allergy will start. So that's by way of clarification. Good. here we are listening to somebody who is interested in power to paint a very gloom picture. I mean, looking at my manifesto, especially when it comes to how the revenue collection has been digitized, he said it actually reduced the revenue. Is that what you mentioned?
Yeah, that's what I said.
I have a figure before me that says that we moved from 480 million to 1 billion.
That's nominal. That's in nominal terms.
I understand that.
Yeah, he was saying that.
Yes.
He was saying that before
yes.
that.
You know they have a increment.
Yes.
I understand
This
that.
is in nominal
yes.
terms.
Yes.
This does not even take into cognizance the increment in tariffs and all that.
But, yes.
It's a very. I've heard this many times.
You've heard
Unfortunately,
it.
It's a very.
And we keep mentioning it because the messenger that is with us.
No,
I mean,
no, Chief.
Yes.
What I want disputed.
Yes.
Is that they say that.
Yes.
ECG was collecting about 90%.
Okay.
Of what they should collect revenue-wise.
Okay. Yes.
We've brought in technology.
Yes.
Or a different technology.
A different
because
technology.
They were also using
yes.
that an app anyway.
Yes.
We brought what we believe is a more efficient
yes.
technological platform.
Yes.
And that they are rather collecting 43% of what they should collect.
Okay.
Is this being disputed?
I think so, because the claim is that my understanding is that moving from that system to the new system have led to increase in revenue. So the picture that he's painting, and I've spoken with informally with even people who says that even now they find it much easier to buy energy rather than the way they used to go around. So it actually brought efficiency into the system. But I will admit with him that I'm not an expert in the energy sector. But I would trust my government is really dealing with it properly. Because my yardstick, you might not like it, as we said.
No, it's not about me liking it.
Well.
Because, for example,
yes.
if let's deal with facts.
Yeah.
As ugly.
Yes.
They issued a statement.
Yes.
Informing us of why.
Yes.
About why they are.
I think we've dealt with that issue when I was
their
here.
Services. You were here?
Yes. Yes.
So you heard us ugly say that for this year.
Yes.
From January to September.
Yeah.
They have only been paid 26.7%
yes.
of invoices that they have presented.
They are presented.
Less than 27%.
Okay, let me explain. Look, regardless of government, there will always be a debt in the energy sector. I think what he's concerned about is whether the government is really managing it well. Is that what he's concerned about? But I believe that those expressing those concerns, I believe they understand that we are not in the good times that we used to be. This is a time that government will need to make decisions, and some of these decisions may mean prioritizing other things. Now, I believe when the time comes to really sit down with these people, government will be able to resolve it.
I don't understand what you're saying. Government has been sitting with these people for the last 7 years.
They have not concluded their negotiations.
For 7 years?
Well, I don't know how long they have been.
But how do you have a business, Ishak? How can you have a business?
Okay.
Where only 26.7%.
Yes.
A whopping 73%.
I understand.
Of invoices are not paid for.
Yes.
From January to October. Okay. What kind of enterprise is that?
Let me explain, Randy. Yes. I don't know exactly the information that you've mentioned, but as I said,
no, I read it. It is a ugly statement, not me.
Okay, that's
it's not research.
I
haven't spent any.
That's fine.
I have not spent any time to research anything.
It's
simple.
Okay.
It's straightforward information provided.
But the point I'm trying to make is that, from what I've read and from what I've listened to, government has given me enough assurance to believe that the energy sector, the gloom picture that he painted, is not what is going to happen. So I believe he has a motivation, and that motivation is perhaps to mislead, because there is 7th December coming, and that is his basis. But what I was hoping that we'll talk more is this initiative government is presenting for the youth in the employment sector, because that is even much more.
Which initiative?
I mean, the Afrobarometer report and the MPP government response, especially on Saturday when the Bawumia meets the youth about employment.
If you have no electricity, you can digitize.
Listen.
I don't understand what you're saying.
No, he's saying that.
I don't understand what you're saying.
The point I'm making about what the government is offering for the youth, the future MPP government.
Yes.
The engagement Bawumia had on Saturday about the future of the Ghanaian youth.
Okay.
So I think we should actually concentrate much more on that.
Why?
Well,
Why?
I believe it's much more current, and then dealing with that particular issue.
It's much more current.
No,
Than having lights off in your house.
The youth, the future of our youth.
Ishak, I have a government in power.
Yes.
There's a sector that is drowning in debt.
Yes.
An extremely important sector.
I think
and you are telling me that that is not an important issue.
No, it is important. I have addressed it. But what I'm trying to say
How did you address it?
I've addressed it by saying that the government, the information I get, government has given me enough assurance to believe that the picture is not as gloomy.
And what is that assurance? I want to be assured.
That assurance that we don't have that level of debt that will drown us to the point that we'll off the lights for 4 years, as we had during their time.
Despite what the data says.
Well, as you said, they are still negotiating.
Okay, so tell us what you think should be the
until those power providers.
No, tell us what you want to tell us. You tell us.
Yes.
Let's go beyond.
Let's go beyond that. Yes.
Yeah,
so what I'm trying to point out is that the future of Ghanaian youth is much more secured under the NPP government as compared to our immediate opponent, the NDC. Why? Because a number of things.
Yes.
First, we have provided massive investment in the educational sector. For example, I will mention it again because the Afrobarometer report made it clear, the free SHS, massive investment, and government promise that if we come to power 7th December, our emphasis is going to be putting much more investment to actually make sure that the problem that we have in the implementation stage will all be resolved, and we can properly secure the free senior high properly.
What do you call implementation stage? Just 7 years?
Well, Rome wasn't built in a day. In the beginning of every
I just want
program,
to understand you.
Yes, in the beginning of every
you said
problem.
Implementation stage. So I want to find out from you whether it is the 7 years that you call implementation.
Yes, we are still implementing it. Some countries have taken more than 10, 15 years to implement that sector. In the beginning, there will always be a problem. But if you identify those problems and push more funds into it, you are able to stabilize and make it really working. The NDCs are criticizing it.
Why did your government introduce free SHS? Why?
Because we believe in the future of our youth.
Why?
We believe in the future of our children.
No, we have secondary education in Ghana.
Yes.
I'm saying that.
Yes.
Why did you introduce the policy you call free SHS? Why?
Why? Because education is the engine of growth of every country. If you want to really have secure a better future for anybody, education is the area that you have to prioritize, especially basic education. Every country.
So why did you implement this? What you call free SHS? Why?
Why are we implementing it?
Yes, why?
I just told you what to secure better future for our children.
What was the policy supposed to do?
For example,
because we have secondary education in this country.
Yes.
We've had it already.
Yes.
So what was this policy supposed to do?
The first important thing, if you see when we implemented it, it increased the enrollment rate from 830,000 to 1.4 million.
As a result of what?
As a result of the free education. The fact that when you come to secondary school, you no longer have to pay. Parents no longer have to provide payment before you come in.
So it was to...
And in fact, it benefited the 5 northern regions even more.
Chief, so it was to take away financing as a barrier.
Yes.
That was it.
That's one of the reasons. And the fact that you are prioritizing it also communicate to the youth that we are taking your future very, very seriously. But as I said, it moved enrollment rate from 840,000 to 1.4 million. That means that this is almost a policy of no child left behind. That means we were more or less neglecting almost 500,000 children every year.
Okay, there's a problem with your articulation of the data, but we won't have time to deal with
that. No, there's no problem.
Let me ask you. I'm not saying that the things you have mentioned, I'm saying the conclusions that you draw are wrong.
Okay.
Now, now, as we speak today, we have seen what is called a uniform prospectus.
Okay.
For all those who are going to enter SHS.
Okay.
This is why I asked you my first question. Okay.
So you mean the head teachers send them?
No.
Okay.
No. The government itself.
The government. Okay.
Has put out what it calls a uniform prospectus.
Prospectus. Okay.
Which means that officially.
Okay.
This is how much each parent.
Okay.
Must be able to pay before their children can access secondary education.
Okay.
What has changed?
I have not seen that information yet. But as we introduce it, had it always been part of the system that parents should provide?
No, when the free SHS started,
okay,
I didn't see this.
Okay.
In fact, I saw heads being sanctioned and others for trying to charge some things and all that.
Okay.
I think the first 2 years of free SHS. You remember the advert? Okay. Or something.
Okay.
Meaning? You speak Tree?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay. Say all you need to do is to take a shower.
Okay. I have not seen that particular information, but as you have told me, I will cross-check, and then when I have another opportunity to come, I will be able to talk to it. But
my question.
But the point I am making is that the reality is that it has increased enrollment. Yeah. Are we doubting that particular data?
No. But,
yes.
But so, if you look at the stats on secondary education, yes, the enrollment keeps increasing.
Okay. But the jump, if you move from 840
you can make a point, yes,
to 1.4 million, that means the policy change.
You can make a point. Have you also looked at the data that you refer to?
Yes.
Does the data also speak to between entering secondary school?
Yes.
Those who actually enter secondary school.
Yes.
And those who actually complete.
Okay.
Do you have that data?
Well, I saw some, not immediately, but I saw some data. I think from 2003 to 2004, we had 69.
You mean 2023?
Yes, I saw something somewhere, but I don't have that data. But I don't dispute the fact that there will be a dropout in every system.
No, if you look at the numbers.
Okay.
And whether we are asking the question of why.
Okay.
That's my problem with policy.
Policy.
You see?
Yes.
So that's why I started asking those questions.
Yes.
If we set out a policy and we say that financing is a barrier.
Yes.
We want to take that barrier off.
Yes.
Periodically, we should be asking ourselves how well that thing is working.
Okay.
You understand me?
Okay.
So when today there is a prospectus, then I ask the question, what about the financial barrier? Do we think that now it is no longer a problem or it's not a big deal? Now, if the issue is to keep people in school, and then you have X number of people being qualified to enter or entering, and then when it comes to the exit over the 3-year period, you have these huge numbers, sometimes 100,000. Why are we not addressing the question? Why are we not interested in finding out why we have that disparity, that number? What is it?
No, but do you know the number yourself? I don't have access to such data also.
That's why I asked you if you have.
Yes, I don't. Let me explain something. But the number of people, you have had the opportunity. No. Let me come. You don't help you talk about your program. I am okay. But what tells me that the program has been successful is a number of students who knock universities' doors requesting for admissions.
Who knock the doors?
Yes.
Not who enter.
No, well, sometimes, so for example, if you move from 840 to 1.4 million, we have to increase the number of university places.
Who has to?
I mean, as a people, if you don't increase, of course, not everybody will be able to get in. But what I'm trying to say is that there have been increase in enrollment in the universities. So that tells me that the program is largely successful. And this is why the new initiative the Vice President is proposing about creating 4 million jobs by the end of the 4 years term. It gives me much more hopes that the future of the youth of Ghana is much more secured with the MPP. And if you look at the items, the various items that have been placed towards the youth, it's actually giving me much more hope. For example, the training, well, he might say we have stolen it from them, which is quite ridiculous. The training of 1 million people in the digital skills give me hopes that the Vice President really understands the future. The future, as they say, he has moved away from talking about economy to digitization. Please, there is something called the digital economy, which some countries are taking very seriously.
Of the economy.
So, which is a subset of the economy, but they don't know that.
No.
They say he has moved away from talking about the economy
to
the digital economy.
On a subset of the economy, not the economy.
No, he said focus on the economy, but what I'm saying is that if he's talking about a subset of it.
I've just seen on my school platform, they say dollar is now 17.1.
If you talk about a subset of it, and they say he has abandoned the economy, it's simple tell us that they don't understand what the economy really means. Because if there's a whole, and I go to talk as part of it, which actually serves the future better, because almost every country, look at the number of people India sent to the Silicon Valley. because of the digital skills they have acquired at home in India. That they have.
What happened to this Silicon Valley thing? Early days, you did something. Silicon. What happened to it? No, I sat here. And I read Gaffy's
Rome wasn't built in a day.
Oh, this was about 6 years ago or something. What happened?
Rome waited to finish with the train in the sky before they started with that one.
Government cannot just do everything at once. We first of all have to get this right, and training these youth to make sure that we create 4 million jobs that they will serve. I believe the future of the youth is much more secured with Bawku's power, because he seems to understand the youth much better than John Mahama. And Randy, this energy sector. Yes, I'll come to explain it. Look, as I admitted, I don't know so much about the energy sector. But like this is why good. Well,
me, I don't know much. Yeah.
But this gives me. This tells me why
your knowledge of the energy sector better than some practitioners.
But this is the reason why.
I learn every day.
This is the reason why we do Ghanaians a greater service. If we can have John Mahama and Bawumia debating on these particular issues, I believe whoever is going to govern this country will need to clarify this to us, and then we can compare Bawumia's ideas to that of John Mahama's ideas. His refusal to sit down to debate with Bawumia tells me that he doesn't even believe in the sort of things he says in the manifesto. Is he scared that Bawumia might expose his inadequacies as expressed in the manifesto or what? So I believe this particular thing that you are articulating, if they are true, then your flag bearer has a much better hand in debating Bawumia. Don't you think so?
So is it, can I
his refusal
in 3 minutes, I will go.
Yes.
You asked a very fundamental question.
Okay.
That what was the policy objective of introducing the free SHS, in as much as it is a constitutional imperative, because the Constitution says that we should introduce that progressively as and when we can. Just look at the data, and I would just go to a civil society organization that has been working on the energy sector, in the education sector. That's EduWatch. EduWatch has indicated that between the 2021-2022 and 2023-2024 academic years, government spared per child per annum 1,241 Ghana cedis, and the parent spent 4,185. So if the idea was that you were trying to remove the financial barrier, the inhibiting factor that is occasioned as a result of lack of funds as a basis, the data here suggests that it is not happening, because the parent is paying almost 4 times what the state is pretending to be paying.
How much is the parent paying?
The parent is paying 4,185 per annum per child, and the state is paying 1,241 per annum per child.
You mean the uniform costs 4,000?
No, I'm talking about the expenditure on the child, because you're talking about free agent, because he was asking
what component of the expenditure.
No, hold on.
You can't just say they're paying.
Oh, I'm coming.
Okay.
So it is a composite figure. So you have a child who goes to, because you were bringing out what the free HSS has done, bringing people. Oh no, I'll be patient. Okay. What's your problem?
You haven't.
Yeah, so I am saying that as per what EduWatch is saying, that between 2001-2002 academic year and 2003 and 2004 academic year, the government does a composite figure per annum that the state pays per child is 1,241. However, the parent whose financial burden was being taken off is paying 4,185.
What does it involve? The payment with the 4,000?
No, so that is what involves. It involves all the things you need to have a child in school. So if you are indicating that you have introduced free SHS.
Randy, I mean, he doesn't explain it. You can't just plug 4,000.
You can refuse. No, you can refuse. Unfortunately, you know something?
Yes.
You simply had almost 10 minutes to bring out data. You could not connect your data to even the policy objectives that you're making. I have said that if one of your policy objectives if one of your policy objectives was to take out the financial barrier, the financial, what do you call it, the basis for which the child was not going.
The government to raise children for parents.
No.
That's what that you are saying.
Oh, but I thought
4,000.
Yes, you are the government. The government is paying.
Not raising children for parents. That's not part of the free.
So at the end of the day, don't say it is free.
No.
Don't say, and that is why. So now let me not tell you something. So that is why. So you have finished. So that is why my flag bearer says that. No. I'm coming before him. That's why my flag bearer says that yes, the free SHS is something that will be maintained.
Yes.
However, we will implement it better. So that I know that if my child is leaving my house, if my child is leaving my house, if my child is leaving my house to school, I know that the child is guaranteed 3 quality meals a day. You have
it was your government that even introduced cost sharing.
What has that got to do with this?
Oh, it's got to do with trust in adhering to what you are promising. That's what we're doing now.
So this is not even cost sharing. This is not cost shifting.
No,
this is cost shifting.
It says that you take care of. I mean, the cost of taking care of children. When has the government said that will pass on to government? We are providing education. Tell me what the 4,000 is made
the
up
point
of.
I'm making is that we were told that cost was a barrier. People can't afford the cost associated with. So this whole intervention is to take away that cost. And that's why we are giving examples of people who are impoverished in some far rural areas who have made it to some of the class A schools. That but for they would not have made the opposition. Now today, now this is official. So you have national prospectus. It's in 3 categories, which is subdivided into basic needs and cleaning materials to make it easier for parents. So category A covers 27 basic items such as hard body suitcase or trunk, chop box or hard plastic container, toiletries, beddings, a pair of footwear, school specific, underwear, cutlery, other educational materials such as mathematical set, scientific calculator, among others, cleaning materials. There are those who have a pair of hand gloves, liquid soap 5 liters, 1 kilogram of washing powder, bleach, dustpan, 1 long handle broom, 1 scrubbing brush, mop bucket, 1 duster, 1 short local broom. And then day students, you have 1 mathematical set, scientific calculator, decent sandals, school specific, decent sneakers, black or white, school bag. Then you have the cleaning materials. So these are the different categories.
Let me explain something to you.
Please do.
These perspectives, the items over there, I would probably say they are advisable you have them, but they are not compulsory. When I was a student, let me explain to you from my own perspective.
Oh, this is not your perspective.
No, when I was a student,
why this has been done? Hold on.
Similar
why this has been done is that they say that the schools have their school-specific prospectus. And they think that government thinks that look, there must be a harmonized one. Where irrespective of the school, this is what each child must be required of. So they don't.
I don't want the word must. Perspectives are not usually completely mandatory. As I said, when I was in secondary school, I have never acquired 10% of whatever in my perspectives.
Which school did you go to?
Salama Secondary.
Yeah, so you know why?
Nobody will tell you, go back home because you've not been.
So you have been taken care of.
Stop it.
You have been taken care of.
10%, I can assure you, no headmaster will turn you back home if you do not have a bucket. No headmaster would send you back if you do not have gloves.
So between
they don't even have the capacity to inspect it. They don't inspect you.
Yes.
No headmaster. So this one, I would probably say they are advisable if you can afford as a parent. No headmaster will send you back home if you don't have gloves. No headmaster will send you back home if you do not have a bucket. In fact, when I was in secondary school, we had students who were struggling. We were required to have a bucket. We had students who were struggling, who often take a bucket of a friend. So I don't think these are mandatory. How do we make them appear?
All right. Okay. So let me just remind you that at 11 o'clock we'll have the 2024 ECOWAS Bank for Investment and Development President's Roundtable live here at 11 a.m. And Mrs. Anita Eskin will be the moderator. She is the Executive Director of Eskin Global Communications. And of course, on the panel, we have Dr. Robert Taliesu, who is the Country Director for Ghana, Liberia, Sierra Leone, as of the World Bank, Rajesh Nair, and Engineer Magnus Lincoln Kwashi, Chief Executive Officer, Delin Consult. And they'll be looking at modernizing fiscal infrastructure systems, facilitating trade and movement of people, pooling resources towards the development of sustainable infrastructure. And some of the questions that we'll be looking at are modernizing fiscal infrastructure system. How is your institution effectively addressing the infrastructure deficit and modernizing the needs of the sector, and also facilitating trade and movement of people, pooling resources towards the development of sustainable infrastructure. So that's on 11 a.m. here on Metro TV as the 2024 ECOWAS Bank for Investment and Development President's Roundtable here. So make a date at 11 a.m. this morning. The panel, everybody is ready. They are set here in our studios for this. We had the 2023 edition also here on Metro TV. So it's going to be extremely interesting, thought-provoking, and there'll be a lot of things to take home with. And you can also send your questions that will be addressed by this panel of experts. And of course, you can also be rest assured that the moderator would ask all the right questions and ensure that the questions are also adequately answered. So that's 11 a.m. on this station, 2024 ECOWAS Bank for Investment and Development President's Roundtable. Road mapping infrastructure development in ECOWAS. Road mapping infrastructure development in ECOWAS. Gentlemen, thanks for joining me. Maybe next week we'll have a lot more time to look at these issues.
Thank you.
Up next, Metro Sports before the EBIC 2024 Roundtable Conference at 11.
Hey guys, so I got this app. It's called Ayoba. It's a chat app that helps me with beauty tips and cooking tips. A super app that feeds me music and the latest sports content. I even use it for my studies. And the good news is I don't need to use my data bundle because I'm on MTN. Charlie, the app just did be.
Ayoba, the all-in-one app that lets you chat, call, read, play, pay, and listen. Use Ayoba at no data cost on MTN. Download Ayoba now.
With license. Now we are mate.
Adam Bajan, I'm your mate. Tamana me mate, and my master estimate the car and mammy. Me good sales. My master in your baby and say my year sales da.
Nti e dia ben fofo na o de eba.
Oh madam, they say they me pese me fa abe for kwan fa so di djuma. Na ka kire passengers no ama omo di omomomo etu omo lorry fare. Na afi so mama omo de omo Ghana card na to ticket online.
E adi papa. And I told some so. Ubeti yenka.
Bacho you. With us.
Next. With license.
Bacho, yeah, Jimmy license.